This episode of The Direction is brought to you by Mist Utility. Know what's below, call before you dig. We're gonna go out and do a little saltwater fishing today.
I'll tell you one good thing about using shrimp for bait, what you don't use out here, you take home, boil up and eat them for supper.
Now wait a minute, I bought 8 dozen of them $34 and I go to Kroger, I pay I think Kroger's ripping me off. All right, so when you go with Roger, you notice he's wearing moon pie on his shirt right there. We got the pumpkin spice moon pie. And if there's one thing about it, you know Jimmy wants one. Everyone has a story. Sometimes it's about catching monster bass. Now that's a studly muddly, baby. And sometimes it's about life's lessons. Every story is as unique as the person who tells it. So join us as we make some new friends, reunite with some old ones, catch a few fish, and share a story or two. I'm Mark Stowe, and this is The Direction.
Florida has long been one of the most popular destinations for those looking to escape those cold winters, and for good reason. Warm temperatures and great fishing is what Mark is looking for, and he is headed south to fish with legendary guide Roger Crafton outside of Boca Grande, Florida. Richard has a resume as long as his boat and was one of the first to ever start guiding in the region. Mark and Jimmy Jennings are ready to jump on the boat and get to fishing with this local legend.
We're in Placida, Florida this week, and we're going to be doing a little saltwater fishing. We're going to be joined by Roger Crafton, who's going to be taking us out and showing us how to catch a few saltwater fish. I'm also going to be joined by my great friend Jimmy Jennings, and this guy, when he's on the show, he's always giving me a hard time. I absolutely love coming to these old marinas and old places. You know, when you walk down, you just have that feel of fishing, and there's just something about it. I mean, you look out here and you walk on out and you see the old docks and repairs being done and different things, and you just look down this old canal and you see all the boats looking. That looks like, I guess, what would be an old shrimp boat. Just need to think about all the old stories and all the fish that have been caught and stories that come from all of that. Now the fun begins. Mr. Roger Crafton has showed up. Roger, pleasure to meet you, my friend.
My pleasure.
We kind of have a common friend, Mr. Wesley Thomas, and from Indiana, and your grassroots are Indiana.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was born and raised in southern Indiana, and Wes and I were neighbors and grew up together.
And then we're going to be joined by this guy right over here. Come on over here, my great friend Jimmy Jennings. Jimmy's from Maryland. He comes with a little different accent, and this guy loves to throw me under the bus. That's all I'm going to say.
He said he was pretty good at it.
Oh, he's tremendously good at it. So we're going to go out and do a little saltwater fishing today. Tell me, you know, kind of what we're going to go target to catch.
We're going to go target trout and maybe some ladyfish. It's just going to be a fun day of fishing, you know, no pressure on catching a big redfish or a big snook. You know, we're just going to go out, you know, and just try to catch some fish and enjoy the day and the beautiful scenery out here that the harbor has to offer.
And Roger, we're going to talk a little bit about your fishing history, because this guy's got a resume a little bigger than he might be leading on. So right now you're the 4th generation of it?
I guess.
So granddaddy dredged it, then your daddy was here,
Yep.
you, and then some of your son.
My son, he would be the 4th, I'm the 3rd. And Roger's worked out of here. Roger started working out of here, believe it or not, when guide fishing started actually being a thing. There wasn't a half a dozen guides.
So he's been here that long?
There probably wasn't a half a dozen guides.
Wow. Just a totally awesome place you have here.
Thank you.
So, all right.
Good luck.
Appreciate it, Sam. Roger, they're down there bragging on you.
They are?
Yeah.
I got them trained well, don't I?
Yeah, you got them trained well. Sam, what a great guy. What a neat history.
Yeah.
They were down there telling me there are 4 generations. His granddaddy, Sam's granddaddy, then his daddy, then him, and now his son.
Yeah.
And he said you've kind of mentored his son on the guiding side. He said you were down here guiding when guiding wasn't such thing.
Yeah, that's true. I got in on the early part of it, it seemed like. I can remember guiding in the early years, which is, you know, early 80s. And you could go back out on the flats and fish all day. And if you saw anybody, it was a mullet fisherman netting back in there. There wasn't anybody out there fishing. I can't tell you how good it was because you think I'd be lying. But it was excellent. But yeah, we've done it for a long time. And it actually wasn't his son, but his brother, Sylvester.
Sylvester, that's what he said, brother. I'm sorry.
He was catching bait, you know, the whole time out there. He'd go out every day, catch bait out here in the bay. And when I first started guiding, you know, supposed to throw in the cast net all the time, I would go find him. I know he'd be running, he'd do it in the dark at night, and I'd be there at daylight. And I'd just look for the light, and I'd go find him to get my bait, and I'd just get right off the boat. And I started hooking him up with some guide trips. And then at the same time, I started fishing the bass tour. I started traveling a lot. So it's kind of a perfect storm for him especially, and me. I mean, I had wanted to fish the bass tour forever. All my clients that I had, almost all of them, you know, good clients, I turned over to him because I was gone too much. You know, they would call and say, well, sorry, you know, I can't, I'm going here, I'm going there. It was a grind for me, but love doing it.
This guy's a purebred fisherman right here. He's the real deal. This segment was brought to you by Jinko Fishing. It's all about the action.
What you feel out here, we'll probably just throw a jig out here for a while and see how that works. There's a lot of isolated grass patches out, you know, out here in this 2 to 4 feet of water and stuff. And that's generally where the fish will lay. And I'd work the jig pretty slow and throw it out, let it get to the bottom, you know, hop it slow, just slow reel it. I think the fish are not very aggressive. You know, these are tropical fish, and that water temperature falls below 60, it can start killing them.
Really?
Yes, sir. Snook are very vulnerable to water temperature, more so than the trout or the redfish. Trout probably least affected, that's why we're fishing for them today. You think it's tough on bass fishing when the front goes through and it gets cold?
Tropical fish. The word tropical. The word tropical came into that sentence.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference.
Well, here we go.
But we'll catch some.
We're going to get Roger and Jimmy catching some fish.
I tell you one good thing about using shrimp for bait, what you don't use out here, you take home, boil up, and eat them for supper.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That
is the same thing you'll get in the restaurant right there. Well, there's no difference in the shrimp.
Now, wait a minute. I bought 8 dozen of them $34, and I go to Kroger, I pay. I think Kroger's ripping me off. Now that's on my goal too. Look at Jimmy.
I got him a trout.
I'm going to act like that didn't just happen.
Everybody got one.
I'm going to reel one in with you, Jimmy. I'm going to reel one in with you. Now, how many teeth do these have? The 1 teeth or 2 teeth?
Well, it looks like.
Hey, wait a minute, we got a triple going on. Say, you come with Roger Crafton, this is how it starts right here. He says, you're not going to come out here and catch one, you're going to triple up.
Heck yeah. We're going to catch some. Ain't the biggest ones, but they're fun.
I do believe mine's bigger than Mark's, though.
Oh, here we go.
Can we all agree to that?
Now, wait a minute. You have a, is yours a weak one or a strong one? He's a strong one, and that's the weak one, right? 1 teeth, 2 teeth?
That's right.
Somebody, my buddy Carl Carson said if you have the ones with 1 teeth are the weak ones, and the ones with 2 teeth are the strong ones.
I never heard that.
Yep. That's what he told me about them saltwater trout.
I like that.
I'd never heard that.
I remember it.
You got 1 teeth, and the other one had 2.
Pretty funny. Good thing about trout is, I mean, a lot of times you can get into an area and they're school up.
I don't care what I'm a-catching.
Got Mark back there.
Here comes the porpoises right behind us.
Oh, they'll make a move. Did you see a fin?
Oh, yeah. He's right there.
He'll be right here beside the boat.
He'll be over here coming to get Jimmy's fish.
I
Look at
guarantee
Jimmy,
you.
he's catching them. What are you doing up there,
There's
Jimmy?
a nice trout there, Jimmy. Not a bad one. I got me a poor man's tarpon here, Mark.
Uh-oh, you got the ladyfish?
Yeah. Oh gosh, darn it. They are jumpers.
Look at Jimmy up here. How many teeth? I want to know, weak or strong. You keep catching them weak ones. So how'd you end up guiding saltwater and still wanting to be, fishing the bass tour?
Well, growing up in southern Indiana, this stuff around, obviously. So I raised, born, and fished all around home there in southern Indiana in the farm ponds, like probably everybody did that got started. Loved to bass fish, and had the dream, like a lot of guys do, of doing it professionally. Well, family friend that I've known for years, I'd been in contact with him, and he had lived and worked here in Florida for several years, and ended up getting in touch with him one summer about May, and he said he was going to be the general manager at a private resort on Boca Grande, and wanted to know if I'd like to come and work for him. I started guiding out here and figured this out, and then had a good business going, and then had the opportunity, and I'd go to Okeechobee and fish, back then it was like golden blend stuff,
True,
Kentucky,
Kentucky
Kentucky
all
stuff.
that
Yeah,
stuff,
all that
right.
stuff. That's what I would fish. And then finally progressed, more into the, like the FLW tour and stuff.
Right.
So I started fishing those, and the first year, well, I didn't fish the tour until you had to qualify back in those days, and they were really hyping it and building it and everything. And one way to qualify is to win one of the Everstart tournaments, or one of the minor league things that leads into the tour. Well, the second one I fished up on Santee Cooper, I won it.
Right.
So it automatically vaulted me right up into the tour level.
So you've got to live both dreams. You come down here where a young guy would want to head to start out a career working at a resort, then started guiding, and then took guiding full time, and then still went on the bass tour. You wouldn't get caught out on the lake without your favorite bait. So why would you get caught digging without calling 811?
Are you getting ready to start your own digging project? Be sure to call 811 and get your underground utilities located. It's the law and it's free.
Here, try this. This segment is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Here we go. Oh, don't film over there. You film over here.
Hey, don't forget me either.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Roger's hooked up too.
Guys can't catch them all.
Now the pelicans are even coming over to see what's going on.
Hey, let me have some of that action.
Oh my goodness, look at that porpoise. And you said we're only up in about 4 feet of water?
Yeah.
All right, now look, we all got a ladyfish.
They all ladyfish.
And now wait a minute. Oh, we can hold these up. Now hold on. I want to see whose is the smallest.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Roger, me and you're competing
Yeah,
here.
me and you, Jimmy got us took out by a margin there.
Oh. That's what makes fishing fun right there. You're still fishing some bass tournaments, am I right?
Oh yeah, no, I still have the bug to do it and love the competition part of it.
Why, I heard you might have a little extra change I can borrow from a few weeks back.
Yeah.
I heard y'all had a pretty good little event over on, was it Okeechobee?
It was on Okeechobee. Yeah, we fished every summer. They have a Roland Martin's Marine over there has an open team tournament, which is all the guides and all the big dogs around Florida come in and fish, and it's an excellent tour. I find these fish and really didn't know how good it was. Kind of like a perfect storm, perfect timing. You know how it is. You find that kind of group of fish, nobody on them but us.
That's what you call that's what it takes to win tournaments right
It
there.
is.
What did y'all end up winning up
We
there?
won $30,000.
Oh wow. go. See, I like it when the bobber goes under and stays down.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to kind of learn to let it go down. Now, I will say one thing, the trout like these shrimp.
Oh yeah, you're catching a lot more trout than we are.
Yep, them trout like that shrimp. Fun stuff, catching some live bait saltwater fish. So these trout flay up pretty good?
They're excellent to eat. 15, when you can keep them, which you can't keep them right now, but when you can, they gotta be 15 inches to keep them.
All right, so when you go with Roger, you notice he's wearing moon pie on his shirt right there. We got the pumpkin spice moon pie. If there's one thing about it, you know Jimmy wants one. Oh, it's the only one, Jimmy.
I see the whole box.
And it's a double decker on top of
Double
it.
decker. Luckily we have these because I know we're not gonna have lunch.
Roger says, I'm not passing.
No, I tried them either. That's a new batch there.
Ooh, a moon spice moon. Jimmy, look, he treats you better than me. Look, he's done wolfing that thing down.
Either good or you're hungry.
They're good. Mm-hmm. Never had a pumpkin spice.
And don't tell Wes about these, because he'll want every one I got.
Will he really?
Oh yeah. Every time I see him, it's not, hey, how you doing? He says, where's my moon pies at?
Oh, that wind's got me cold. Some night, some smart people brought jackets, and then there's the Kentucky guy that says, oh, I'm a tough deer stand guy. And now I ain't so tough.
Perfect.
You better bring one in here to get my bait. Let's see what it is. Oh, that's a little bigger trout there.
Trouty?
That trout there's a little more growed up trout. I want to know how many pair of pliers you've rusted out over the years.
Oh my gosh. You kidding?
Hey, now wait, nobody else has caught one of these.
You got a mackerel there.
Holy mackerel.
Holy cow, look at the
Yeah.
set of teeth in that thing.
Yeah, don't stick your finger in there. You'll regret it.
Holy cow, look
Straight
at
right
this.
behind the head, Mark.
Huh?
Right behind the head. Yeah, he won't get you. Just clamp down on him and fins ain't gonna bother you. That is Spanish mackerel.
This segment is brought to you by Denali Rods, tournament tested, tournament tough. Now what kind of jigs are y'all using up there?
This is, we're using an 1/8 ounce lead-headed jig with a Little John mirror lure grub on it. Jimmy's you got a pink shrimpy looking one, and I'm using more of a bait fish color looking one.
None of them big enough yet. There he is. I told you he was right there. Another trout.
3.
Yep, I'm finally caught my third one of the day. Oh, you didn't even tell us you had one on.
Oh, nice trout there, Mark, or Jimmy. Not bad.
Now I noticed the dolphin aren't in
They
here.
go ahead and eat it, didn't they? Last few. Golly.
That's a nice trout. We need to get a picture taken now. You got one big enough to take a picture. Yeah, give me my big giant trout. Oh, I gotta swing
They
it.
do it to you, Jim.
Yeah, I'll show you something else clear. It's kind of neat. You know, these fish live in that clear water, and look how clear their fins are, that you can see your finger through that fin. See how clear that fin is? You can actually see my finger behind that fin. Because they live in this clear water. You can, Now it's time for your safe digging moment of the week, brought to you by 811. Always remember to call before you dig. Our 811 moment of the week goes to Jimmy and the cold weather. Every time this guy goes fishing with us, we end up in the cold. We've been in the polar vortex in Illinois, and guess what? We go to southern Florida, and we end up well, in the cold as well. Jimmy, everywhere you go, that cold weather follows you. That's a nice one, Jimmy.
Jimmy's catching a little bit bigger ones.
Oh, here we go. Getting a little bite here. Getting a little bite. I haven't caught one 12 inches, so it might be a 12 inches. Hang on now. Here, mine's gonna eat yours. Ah! We're swinging them in the boat. I mean, them things hook your finger too. Ooh,
Really?
that big one isn't. Look at that. Jeez. I can sit here and go last cast 20 times, so I think we're gonna go in, go have us a good bite to eat. You said there's a good restaurant there. What's the name of it?
Farlow's.
Farlow's?
Right there, across from where you're staying. It is awesome. Excellent spot.
Well, I think we're gonna go to Farlow's and get us a little supper. We're gonna call this a great day on the water.
Sounds good. It's my
Roger.
pleasure.
Yep, I appreciate it. So, been fun catching a few fish and enjoying beautiful South Florida. Even though it's cold, it's better than the 18-degree weather that's back home. The direction is brought to you by 811. Know what's below, call before you dig. We would also like to thank these fine partners. Closed captioning is brought to you by USA North. Call 811 before you dig.